Welcome back, everyone, to Disco Elysium. Here encyclopedia. What did this king do? Even by the standards of the Philippine kings, old sumptuous Philippe was known for his profligacy. In what way? Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy during the anticentennial revolution, an end to his family line in the monarchy of the Insulindian Isla. How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury? Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber where he stored unfathomable wealth, cougarans, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He also called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed like a normal person. Deplorable farce. No wonder everything went to shit. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. The what now? You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippine Blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays, and purple. Philippine cocaine was purple. This is a lot to process. So he was addicted to nose candy, a bloated druggie? That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains into the Insulindian Bay. This is a lot to process. His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with higher realms. Okay, where is he buried now? Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. A group of marble pleurons still surrounds the king's vandalized tomb. A deathly cold wind sweeps up candy wrappers and old newspapers. So what happened to the statue? The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn of the century revolution when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up into even finer pieces. So who restored the monument? Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. That's brilliant. Pretty funny and nihilistic. People in Martinez tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than young ironists. Those critics might have it wrong, though. There's more to it than just ironism, but you can't say what precisely. Perhaps this art mystery will be solved at a later time. Now that my conceptualization is 19. Philippe III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life. Alright. There's that. Now then, as I said, there's not much left to do. I raised my encyclopedia and my electrochemistry. Trust me, we'll need that electrochemistry later. Ooh. Stop, between those trucks down there. Smokes, go get them. Oh, there we are. Okay, so if I have an electrochemistry of 6, then I can spot the cigarettes. Yoink. Got him. More Astras. Oh, well, I smoked my... Well, I will end up lighting another cigarette. Maybe? Okay, so here's the thing. I reloaded my save, and I went to go talk to Cindy, and I succeeded on the conceptualization roll, but because I succeeded, I couldn't get her to give me the brush. After I told her my idea, she was like, shit, that's good. I'm not going to give the brush to you because I don't want you to blow my plan out of the water. And I was like, oh, come on. And she's like, fuck no, you can't have it. And then I couldn't have it. But when I failed, she was like, yeah, sure, take the brush. Relax, it's not yours. You didn't crash every MC in Revachol, hopefully. Motor carriage, I assume. You know what? Let's dial the payphone over here. I don't know why. Why not? Pick up the handset. Put 10 cents in and dial a random number. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up. Pierre? Is that you, Pierre? The voice is female and sounds about 100 years old. I might be. What's Pierre like? So nice of you to find time to call. It gets so lonely, even the animals have died. What kind of pets did you have? Are you sure you're Pierre? Your voice is different. They're chrysanthemum. Voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not. I don't know why you can do that. Just crank call some poor old lady. Alright, let's check the stained glass once more and see if I can succeed my encyclopedia roll. Ah, I read The Greatest Innocence! Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence Dolores Dei, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state, perhaps the most famous human being to ever have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever as it haunts all men. Wait, what exactly is an innocence? I read the book, but it was kind of fuzzy. The highest category of historical individual, an embodiment of the world's spirit. A ruler? A tyrant. In a way, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built from the ground up to accommodate innocentic rule, should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities, what would have happened anyway, only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office. Is one in office now? No, we are alone. Was there something terrifying about her? Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory. Or what remains of it, but terrifying is a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her. No, there was something bad about her, and I want to know. You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Dei, constantly surrounded by her Theriers. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all of the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state, and then there were the resettlement programs. What? The Mesk state tried to detach itself from the innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Magritte were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity, suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Dei often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb, an icon such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you've ever seen, with green eyes the color of Pesantic Mare Interim. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Dei to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography. Lieutenant Lefebvre, you stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask? She's beautiful. Cool, man, yeah, we should light her up with disco lights. People are gonna lose their shit when they see a club for Anadic music with this kind of sacred shit. I told you, Andre. People don't want to see that woman when they're dancing. It's unhealthy, and we're not putting disco lights on it. That would only make it worse. Hey, Her Innocence Dolores Dei like little figurines, right? Liked holding the little men between her fingers, remember? What? You have the headless FALN writer figure. You should give it to her. Win her back. Win her back? I can't win her back. She's a long-dead historical figure. Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die that easily. This isn't funny. You have a bad feeling about this one. I should. Yes, this is a task of mine now. So very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what figurines are for. So, can I give him the speakers?
DeLorean Church! The place to be! Make some noise, my church people!
A hawthorn tree on rooted chains just lay entangled in its branches. Something bronze flutters in the winds. He stands on stage behind a table, nodding along to the music and waving his hand in the air. In front of him, the audio mixer, one reel spinning. I've thought about the discarded melody and came to the conclusion that Von Eyck has to have lived around here. J'adore! God is close by, but maybe he doesn't have good enough ears. Let me turn it up so we can lure him here. How do you like it in the church? Yeah! Back on the case, no disgrace. Bring it down to party place. The first page of the second chapter. Could it be? Maybe for him, you only have a chapter or two left in you. Last of the penultimate, more like. All right, goodbye, Egghead. Andre, how are things going in here?
Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000.
All right, maybe not that many.
Ecstatic vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too. Now the only thing left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honors, detective?
What do you propose as a name, Andre? The name? Everything I managed to come up with just sounds wrong. Andre's overthinking it. Yes, you should do it, detective. It would be good for the signs. No, it's right. You helped us so much. It's the right thing to do. Well, Estelle, do you have any suggestions? How about something simple, like the club? Too modern and too ironic. We don't want ironic. We want real. Real and true and beautiful, like a morning after the rave. Egghead, you must have a lot of ideas. Yokokata! The place to be! Yokokata, the zone of ecological catastrophe? That's too morbid, Egg. Do you got anything else? Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Now, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. Noid, give me your 2 cents on the issue. The amnesia. Like the I can't remember the name of the club amnesia? Amnesia! It's not amnesia, guys. Suni, do you have any opinion on this? I don't. Good, we have too many opinions anyway. Kim, what would you name the club? I wouldn't. I wouldn't build the club and I wouldn't name it either. An underground club with no name. Sounds like something the Crabman would say. We're not going with anything the Crabman would say. Why not? The Crabman has ideas, Estelle. Ideas from another level of consciousness. I don't care. I don't like the Crabman and I don't like his ideas. His ideas are spooky. Next, please. Alright, I think I've come up with a name. Disco Elysium. Like the DeLorean word for the world? You mean Elysium? But Disco Elysium. Isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone, isn't it? Forgotten? The past is the future, but the future is dead! No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave like we want it to be. And short. And memorable. It's settled then, everyone. Welcome to the Disco Elysium. Observe his movements. What are you doing, Andre? I'm dancing! He performs yet another strange pattern of moves, but it doesn't look very cool or modern. Honestly, it looks kind of lame. That softcore gyrating is supposed to be dancing? We should talk about it. We should talk about your so-called dancing. Yeah, my man. Talk? What is there to talk about if you can express yourself with moves? Oh, Jesus. Audio waves thump against your ribcage. The speaker setup makes everything sound much better, but the beat is still so weak. Got it. Unless I can pump up this beat, I'm not going to be able to fulfill this dance. It's to express more individuality. Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure with the fused together spikes, but it kind of looks like he's balding. Or is it because you're balding? Or because I'm balding? Yes, I want to fuse the remains of my hair together before it leaves me. I want to show my hair. I don't give a fuck how old you think I am. I'm 20. How old are you, Andre? Not 20. Fair enough. Maybe it was a bad idea anyway. Oh, jeez. Do I have anything that raises my composure? Composure is kind of a rare one. I know my shoes raise my composure, but I don't think anything else does. Nice. Oh, fuck yeah. Give me that windbreaker. Jesus Christ. No, I think that's all I got. This is not a lot. How high does my composure go? Up to 6. That's pretty good.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
You close your eyes and dream of the shapes your body should form to bring this strange music into life. For now, such ferocity of motion is beyond you.
But just imagine the moves you could pull to this futuristic beat.
Thank you, limbic system. Puts a grin on your face just to think about it. Even a failed attempt gets the juices flowing and repairs some of the damage done by the battles lost. If you up the dose and truly dance, who knows what'll happen? Salvation! Alright, we're gonna have to find the base, get this party bopping. But first, oh shit, which jacket? Oh, he's wearing the lounge jacket. Oh my. Jesus, look at us, we're a fucking disaster. Yo, Noid, how are the signs?
You got us in, Cop. I can't believe you got us in.
With wonder in his sharp eyes.
Between you and me, I don't know if you've noticed this about me. I'm a little suspicious of authority, but you really came through for the hardcore underground.
Yes, you really came through for the hardcore underground. How come?
Andre's busy cutting some slightly less lame but still quite ungainly shapes on the church floor, sweating profusely. Estelle, using her contact mic to listen to a tree underwater. The one with the largest head is blasting the dance track on repeat while the stained glass window behind him is rattling from the base. Sire, the tent was a security risk, and in here, sanctuary. It was only noble of you. I did it for mankind. For all mankind.
Okay.
Noid, what do you think of the church? It's a miracle of carpentry. Dead bodies carved into total shapes. Now it can be something more. What do you mean by dead bodies? Dead bodies are perennial plants. Sigma functions have left this place. It's a good thing we came along. The spiritual collapse has been total. Spiritual collapse? I saw some piglets suckling their dead mothers. Have you ever heard this one, Cop Man? After a short while, they shuddered and went away. They had sensed that she could no longer see them and that she wasn't like them anymore. What they loved in their mother wasn't her body, but whatever it was that made her body live. End of quote. This is high quality carcass. The power of analytic beats and hard basses needed to reanimate it. Where's that quote from? A Serace man who lived a long time ago. An ancient hardcore brother. What you're saying is you're not a fan of the Innocentic system. A 3,000-year-old tyrannical regime of history, built and maintained by hundreds of generations of self-appointed intellectuals. It's false core. The way he says it, the false in false core is invested with 20 kilotons of disgust. I even agreed with you about the Ecclesiastes being okay with this. But were you wrong? The founding party is okay with everything. They do not have enough love for the human crew to oppose anything anymore. We're on our own. But I thought you guys said the Ecclesiastes were all about love and hardcore. I only said unity. One word. Figures of authority always misquote you. Andre doesn't care about the Ecclesiastes. He just wants the operation to run smoothly. An egg is a demi-beast. You shouldn't listen to what people say. You should listen to what they are. You propose dance music will supplant the system? Anodyne dance music. Regular dance music wasn't hard enough, and yes, I do. You know what this kind of stuff goes well with. I don't need to be a narc. Your pleasure response was more like just wondering if he has any. How you settling in? Hard to say, Cop Man. Signs in here are distinctly wild. Gonna take a while before everything's properly synced. I did get to talk to the Crabman, though. You mean Tiago? Anyway, he's been giving me a kind of a psychic rundown of the place. Dude's seen some crazy shit, but he's actually a lot like us. You mean all his mother's love stuff isn't too spooky for you? Have you been listening to what Egg's been saying? Love is hardcore, man, and the mother's love is the hardest core of all. The man picks up on stuff, and he knows a lot about the church. I got a lot to learn from him. Good thing he didn't squash him. What did Tiago tell you about the church? Crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's experienced things that give off bad signs as far as we can tell. The Ubis built this place about 380 years ago as a sarcophagus. What's it for? Encasement, confinement, something they were afraid of. Something new and unheard of on the Isola. I think that's what the Crabman's experiencing when he climbs around upstairs. Like, this is some old world shit the Ubis had heard about, and thought the best way to deal with it was to build a church surrounding it, to contain it. Huh. Spooky. Sure. What's with the clothes? They're hardcore. That's it? They're just clothes. Are they? They look a little outlandish. It's just a style, you know? Normal hardcore style. Anyone can wear it. Take care, Noid. Let me check my tasks. That's weird.
Yo, man, what's on your mind?
I want to talk more about this place. How do you like the glasswork? I don't. Fucker, give me the evil eye. That's her innocence, Dolores Day. Mind your words. You defend her, law minion? She was a mass murderer. What's up with that? Mellow, man. Mellow. No one's a mass murderer. This is a house of love. Mass murderer on the floor. I do feel there is something terrifying about her. There is. She's a party repellent. It must be taken down before we can begin partying in here. No, that's not it. It's something more. Keep it. Keep the beautiful sharp shards. Keep her long face in her hair. The speed freak's eyes narrow with suspicion, as if he's looking at the man possessed. It's not coming down. People are gonna love it. Would you say she was human? Ha! I like this question, Copman. She did not live the life of a human. She lived like someone who was playing a game, the life of an operator. That's not the life that humans live. She was adored. Humans aren't. I don't know about you, but they hate me. And they do not think I'm innocent or some shit like that. Yeah, she was a player. She played us all. It's just a game to her. Yes. The speed freak does not quite understand the sudden escalation of emotions in this argument, but he agrees nonetheless. Yeah, I'm done talking about her. I don't want to think about her anymore. What a strange choice of words. Caustic, overflowing with negativity. That can't be healthy. What's happened here? Why do you keep coming back to this window? I don't know. Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't come back to this anymore. Stop talking about it, please.
Creeks and stuff. Like you're underwater, you know? But like, underwater inside a tree.
Huh. And no, it's got nothing to do with Contact Mike. But Contact Mike is... She cuts you off. No, I actually wanted to thank you for getting me and my friends in here. We have found some new associates, such as they are. How's everyone doing? Good, I think. Noid's getting a read on the place. I think he finds the carpentry very impressive. Andre's been setting up the compressor and dancing. Egghead's keeping the party up. He's got the stage under control. Sooner the programmer, she's doing whatever she does behind that radio computer of hers. She doesn't talk to us much, and the crab man hasn't shown himself, thank God. You told me about your associates? Sure, you helped us out. I can repay the favor. What do you want to know? What are you so afraid of the crab man? Well, the crab man? He still gives me the creeps, but he doesn't actually come down that much. Just climbs around the rafters. I just try to stay away from the crab man. He talks to Noid. They seem to have some thing going on. Talks to Noid? What for? Beats me. Noid said they get along somehow. They're both crazy enough, I guess. What does he do up there? Who knows? He doesn't even really answer our questions, see? Not that it's easy to ask them. What are we supposed to do? Yell at the tower? Thanks. What about Andre? Andre, he's a cool guy. Doesn't really come off as one, but he is, to me at least. She rubs her sides, but not from cold. Her shoulders are relaxed. She must have taken a hit or she's on the upswing. He takes care of shit. Sorry, I mean, he's got vision of what life should be, you know? Tries to push things around until everything falls into place. What has he organized? Nothing, but then again, there's nothing too organized around here either. He really wants this church thing to work. Must have taken it as a sign when he found it abandoned like that. Said it was an augury. Andre's not super intelligent. I've never seen him so psyched up about something, though. And he's often psyched. Looked sort of desperate, like it's his last chance or something. Or maybe he was just high. I mean, not that he does drugs, just high, you know? Relax, girl. We're police officers, but we're corrupt. Rotten to the marrow. You can tell us about the drugs and shit. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, drugs, shit, fuck. We don't care. Yeah, anyway. Is he your boyfriend? Yes. Tell me about the others. Tell me about Noid. He's a Faboisier, I guess? Like the rest of us. Okay, maybe not Egg. I don't know anything about him. But Noid and the rest are from Faubourg, making the pilgrimage up north to visit the Elysium. He's real hardcore about the lifestyle. Lifestyle. What does he do? What do you mean, do, like for a living? No, I meant for breakfast, of course for a living. He's a carpenter, trained and all. He's very good. He just doesn't have the mindset to work like that in a shop somewhere. What kind of mindset is that? He abides by the hardcore, so you would have to ask him yourself. And you? Sir, I abide by the law. A strange feeling. Every now and then something feels off about the way she speaks. She doesn't change tone, but you feel as though there's more about her than she lets on. What's this pilgrimage you're talking about? It's just something poor Foulbrook kids do every spring to pass the time. We walk the entire length of Boogie Street up to Jamrock, or as much of it as possible. Why wouldn't it be? I don't know, man. Have you been down Boogie Street? It's a little bewildering. Oh, I'm sorry. Have I not told you I'm a raging alcoholic who recently drank himself into oblivion so deep he can't even remember what sounds like the biggest street in the city? Kind of? I'm gonna say yes. Well, I am. Okay, then you should go and take a look. I guess Boogie Street's cool. It's got a lot of immigrants and all kinds of different people. I might do that if I make this make out of this alive. Yeah, I hope you do. What about Suna? She's a bit odd, I have to say. Doesn't talk much. I'm not really sure how to vibe with her, you know? Seems like she's not in a very good mood most of the time. But earlier today, she told me about Wilkins, and she seemed oddly happy, like she had some idea with those little creatures, some artistic idea. I didn't really listen, I was busy with the mic. What's the deal with Egghead? What do you mean? Where's he from? How long has he been with you guys? Actually, we don't know where he's from, or who he is, really. One time we were out partying out somewhere in backwater Faubourg, or maybe even Coal City? I can't remember. The worst of the Banlieues, a wretched heap of closed-down mines, even west of Jamrock on the dusty slope of Monte Martin, the remotest possible area of Revachol. No one even wants to exploit those people anymore. Egg was yelling something along those jams. Someone was spinning all night long, just kept yelling until he didn't have a shred of voice left. When the sun came up over the mines, there were mines? Yeah, it was in Coal City. Egg came with us. He made this wheezing puppy dog sound all the way back. Couldn't even speak. It was definitely Coal City because it took us 2 days to walk back to Fao. He just wheezed the whole way. We never really asked him why he came with us or who he was. I think his name is Jermaine. People are sweet. You can see it must have been a great night. The memory causes her to go silent for a moment or two. You wish you'd been there. What does he think he's doing when he yells all that stuff? Oh, that? He's the party boy. He told me, but what exactly is a party boy? Hennetic music doesn't really do vocals in the traditional sense. Vocals are thought of as rock. That's to say they're a bit backward. No offense if you like rock music, though. Rock music is cool by me. Patu, swish. Your credentials are the resident future man of Revachol are being questioned. Sure, you're hip with the times, Gramps. You don't have to tell me. Rock is backwards. I'm the future man. I abandoned rock in the 30s, stupid rock. Okay. Anyway, even if you don't have vocals, you still need to say something, right? Every now and then. To urge things on. That's where the party boy comes in. He basically just stands on the stage and dances and yells how awesome everything is. It's very catchy. I understand. People are usually afraid to do things if others aren't already doing them. Dancing makes you dance like sneezing makes you sneeze, or yawning makes you... Anyway. Tell me about yourself. Me? Again? Oh, no. Yeah, better that way. Alright, Suna. Let's do some serious science. Boom! 3 skill points. Damn, son.
Yes, what is it?
How's the project going? I see your neighbors have moved in, but all I hear is Anadic dance music. What? What did you say? I said, how's the project going? I can't hear you. The music is too loud. The project. Oh, the project. It's not going well. Why? There's that guy. I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixers and the speakers. Why don't you just ask him? He doesn't listen to me. He only ever seems to care about hardcore and Yakakata. A place to be, apparently. Thanks. God damn it. Apparently I am the egghead speaker.
Good morning, comrade. Yeah! Harder core!
Done. Alright. Let's see what the swallow sounds like.
Yes, what is it?
Alright, talk to Egghead. He plugged in the cable. You can now unmute your speakers. Okay, but I think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit, just in case. Maximum! Maximum is the only way! I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this on-time maximum is not the only way, okay? Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There is no other way. Glue style. Glue style? Oh, there literally is no other way. The mixing desk is glued to maximum. See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless. I think what Egg is trying to say here is that the volume button is stuck on maximum. Of course it is. Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound! Never mind then. Let's get this on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on the count of 5. Everyone ready? waiting for the beat to drop. Born ready. Ready! I'm ready if you two are, detectives. Lieutenant nods stoically. Suddenly your palms are sweaty. Knees weak. Mom's spaghetti. Spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti. The church seems cold and large somehow. There's tightness in your chest. Anxiety. Ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged. She lifts her hand from the keyboard. Complete silence fills the room. No wind outside. No waves. No floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. Unnatural. The woman looks around in the silence. You see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you. Not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It will devour everything. The floorboards, the glass, the streets, and people. Nothing will remain. Guys, what's going on? There's alarm in his voice as he steps back to scan the surroundings. A slight rattle like crystal clattering in the cupboard fills the air, joining the chorus. This fragile world is about to break. It's getting louder, says Noid, his eyes riveted to the strange circle of water basins. In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling. Hosiana, mother of Mega! You hear Egghead yell, then something else, but his voice is growing faint. In his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire coastlines on its way. Salvation. He's peaking. The worst high he's ever been on. It was in me at first. The beauty and the beat. The future of dance. Planetary. No, Egg, it's the window. The glass shards around Dolores Day's vacant heart appear to be vibrating from the sound. It's almost as if she's alive. In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route. The window is going to come down! No, the roof! She looks up. A screech fills the air. A scream of wooden nails. The pillars in the church twist and creak. Cracks appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark. Come down to us, love! Below it all, the bass grows like the jaws of a giant compressor gnawing on metal and wood. It does not sound benevolent at all. It's shaking the building's foundation. The floor twists. A great pulse arises in your flesh. That's it! I'm muting it! Everyone, don't panic. It's beautiful. Beautiful car! Beautiful life! Shit, it doesn't stop. Acel, have you... Yes, I've turned it off. The mic is nothing. This has nothing to do with the microphone. Andre, pull the compressor. Fuck, I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here. It's in the mixing depth now, building into a positive feedback loop. This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's all coming down. Egghead, whatever you do, don't stop it! But then it stops. Totally and utterly. As if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a tangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector. Egg. I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore. You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking programmer lady. Tell me if you were recording that. 4 years. 20 people. Millions of reals. All that time. This is what we were up against? Just erased it. Sulislaw isn't going to believe this. Yeah, but did you record it, though? It was dope. I think we can use that. Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now. Thank you for all this, Eggman. Eggman! You too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. And that's a start. What was that? It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically, theoretically. I have no idea. I've never even heard of anything like this. Her voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure. Kim, did you hear that? It was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here, and you need to be very careful with it. I promise, officer, I will not play it again. You're going to write Sulislaw? Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too, and some of the writers, if they're sober enough to open that transmission. They need to hear that it wasn't her fault. Or theirs. They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although, I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway. What happens now? Stay here. I'm going to stay here with the lunatics and letters, maybe meet Sulislaw. I'll devise measurements. I want you to know that's totally chill with us. I don't care, but thank you anyway. That's the best she can manage for Andre. It's quite a lot, in truth, for her, at least. Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this, or the letters will sound like I've lost my mind. Unfortunately, I am facing the pale unknown for this godly logic roll. Still, Egghead, can we...
Good morning, comrade!
Can we introduce that bass sound? What happened? It sucks up all the air in the mix until it's the only thing left. What if we end it to the jam? Oh, but how? Oh, jeez. I know Andre's compression algorithm, and I solved the Arno van Eyck. Oh, yes! Where if one cannot speak, one ought to remain silent. Oh shit, I'm all full up on interfacing. No! Oh well, the only way I could make this jam harder is if I did some fucking speed, and I'm not gonna do that. Christ and criminy. I know I'm running long, but I'm gonna skip ahead some time to deal with the pigs, and then next video will be our last. Good night, everyone. Not good night. I'll be back in a minute. Hold your horses. Gee. Welcome back. It is now 10 o'clock, and I have accomplished the wasteland of reality. Congrats. You're sober. It'll take a while for your body to remember how to metabolize anything that isn't sugar from alcohol. So you're going to be pretty ravenous soon. Eat plenty. You can expect your coordination and balance to improve in a couple of weeks. In 2 months, you might start sleeping like a normal person. Full recovery will take years, though. It'll be depressing, and it'll be boring. Don't expect any further rewards or handicaps. This is how normal people are, all the time. So we get a -1 to suggestion, and a -1 to Inland Empire, and a -1 to physical instrument, but we get a +1 to psyche, and we can no longer gain positive effects from alcohol. So our entire psyche went up by 1 point. The whole thing. Well, except for some of the individual component pieces. But yeah, we're sober now. Alright, now I know that what we're gonna deal with. I need some hand-eye coordination. Hey! How do I know this? Hush hush. And the pinball maker's coat. Yes, that'll do. Beholds! Oh, that's weird. Huh, I might be too close. I might have to go away. Didn't I already try looking through this window? The faded remains of a poster. Ah! Arno van Eyck! So here's the poster, the Feld electronic mural. Tomorrow is just a whisper away. Feld electrical. How ironic with these dark rooms. Why do I feel like I know this place? Could Ruby be in there? In there? You could, or she could be in the identical ruin over there, or in that boat shack, or in the church tower, maybe. So, the Shivers role here is all about like doing all of the things around here. Like we reconstructed the execution, we found the empty trap, we discovered the anomaly. Like we've been all over this place. Shivers is our ability to figure out where she's hiding. The mural is a focus for it. But let me get away from the boardwalk a little. I think that's far away enough. Maybe that'll help the pigs spawn in. Oh, when the pigs go spawning in. Oh, when the pig... God damn it. Alright, well, I'll hop into the church and I'll hop back out. When the pigs go spawning in. I hope they play this number. Oh, I've lost my mind. Ooh, my spinal column. Just popping in, boys. Later. Because it is past 2200, and that's what the thingy said. There she is. Oh god, that's a gun.
Put your hands where I can see them.
The aging woman under a mountain of police paraphernalia mumbles to herself, then notices you and reaches for the megaphone.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands right now!
Scavenged battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control. No! I need this ledger to take notes!
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer under duress! Officer under duress! I am the police! Don't move! Don't move! Hands on your head! Suspect is armed and dangerous!
I'm not moving.
Suspect is on the loose! Suspect at large! Officer administers street justice at her own peril! That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above what was actually required! Suspect is under control! Suspect is under control!
Jesus Christ. Oh, in her mind you're under control now. The next moment you're not. It appears the things she says are very real to her, as long as she's saying them.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
We can solve this peaceably. Please lower the weapon. Officer in need of assistance. Suspect at large. Get on the ground. Let's just talk, alright? Sector, take the shot. Big red key, big red key. What happened to make her like this? Loneliness. Yeah, sure, but also in a less abstract way, the neurodegenerative disease I mentioned earlier. Ma'am, we're here to help. Tell us what's wrong. The woman looks at you, but through you, like you don't exist. Her eyes gleam feverishly, and the rotating police beacon lights reveal deep scratch marks on her cheeks. Recent, self-inflicted. Sometimes when things get very bad, it's good to remind yourself that you have a body by scratching it. This is the police. Unlawful engagement. Hands on the ground, scumbag. So this is what the weather's like on the other end of a cop's gun. I hear you, ma'am. We just want to help, that's all. I don't need to comply with her orders. When she says it, she's imagining that it's happening. Fascinating. See, this is what happens when we're not around. You're not the police. We are. Back up. Back up. Back up. Status unconfirmed. W. Freighter Harrier Dubois, 41st Precinct. This is my partner, Lieutenant Kitsuragi, 57. No. I thought Mr. Morant. Gareth. Aggravated assault. Man down. Officers in pursuit. There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with what's happening here. What's the situation, officer? Law enforcement compromised. Impersonating a police officer. really are cops. Look at my badge. License and registration. License and registration. Come in dispatch. Sector, azimuth. It's not a code, just disjointed words. She's losing it. One twitch and there will be blood. Please identify yourself, ma'am. It's the goddamn police, shitbag. Hug the pavement. You're under arrest. As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampules and packets sticking out of the mountain police gear on her back. Medicine? Drugs? Magnesium, dramine, maybe even speed. My god, she has speed on her. What else? Are you on drugs? Confiscated contraband. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised. I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem. Alright, I gotta get my lost gun. Yes! She's frantic, confused, teetering under all that gear. There's an opening if you just move fast enough. If not, Lieutenant's got her in his sights. Host almighty, don't count on that. You saw the binocular, can't shoot for shit. Gun, I'm coming. Suicide by cop. Split decision, eat lead, scumbag. Oh, for a moment there. I was 80% sure the gun is empty, and still the instinct almost took over. What is this? This isn't a police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this? We know it wasn't loaded. Who was scared? Who forgot the gun wasn't loaded? She looks devastated. Grab the gun. Right now, this might be your only chance. No one ever cares anymore. Why would they cheat me like this? This limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is grinding to a halt. Tired of walking the desert, it doesn't want to feel or think anymore. Poor woman, we need to figure out what to do with her now. Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me. What do you think is happening to her? She's in stupor. I've seen this before, God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Why was she like this in the first place? Honestly, dementia and channel 8 and loneliness. Neurodegenerative disease. Could be. Should we just arrest her? I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state and without the gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. I don't want to endorse the Hardy Boys' inflated sense of self-worth. They're not the cops. We are. Okay, that settles it. I'll contact my station after we wrap it up for the day. You can contact the sanitarium and handle the logistics, but I think we're done for now. Let's head out. This is over. Please leave the radio on. Reflex to what? Being left alone? Exactly, with only the voice of Gareth Moran to accompany her on Channel 8. She must have built a new, sadly better, reality from the only material available. Radio waves and cop shows. She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and flashers now. Maybe if you search her once more? The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under the mountains of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them too. Pick up the RCM cap. She doesn't even flinch. You reach out and disentangle the familiar looking cap from the mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is that yours? It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours. Maybe? Probably. You know me. It's your hat. Confiscate the narcotics. Wink. You take the file of Perholodon and the Battle of Speed as evidence, obviously. She didn't consume them. She didn't look high. She confiscated them. A little like you're doing now. You're taking those, are you? Listen to him for once. You should take them. Thank you. I'm doing this to help you. We need to focus on the case. He's grateful you did this. Oh, shit. I can finally be a fucking policeman again. Oh my god. Wait, let's go for the commander's jacket. Holy shit, I'm a real fucking cop, Mom. Look at me. Look, he said I'd never amount to anything.